Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Committed Critics, a pop culture podcast. We're not only committed to our opinions, but also each other. Aww. I'm Kevin Lau.
I'm Ryan Davis.
And with us today is a returning guest, Danny Vincent. Danny, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Danny Vincent. I have been on this show, I think, twice before, ? Maybe only once. I'm unsure.
Twice, technically, I think.
Yeah, I was on for the In the Heights episode, and I think I was on for...
You were here for 3 times then. You got the SpongeBob episode, In the Heights episode, then we had one episode where we just took a chill.
Yes. I wasn't counting that one, because I recorded the same day as the In the Heights one.
Gotcha.
But yes, I've been on her 2.5 times, I'll say. So this would be my 3.5 time. I don't know. Anyway, I'm Danny Vincent. I host 2 of our podcasts. One of them is Wise with Ty and Dan, which is a Marvel podcast where we talk about MCU stuff. But right now we're vamping until Moon Knight comes out on March 31st.
Nice.
And then I also host the Snub Club, where we talk about the movie that has the most Oscar nominations in the year but didn't win anything. Mm-hmm. And currently we're in the 1940s there. So
yeah. No, both podcasts are really good. Highly recommend if you're interested in in-depth reviews of MCU films on Why Is, and also if you want to learn about film history, Snub Club is a very good way to learn it.
Yeah, thank you. We're really proud of what we're doing at both spots. So.
Yeah, no, they're both really good. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Honestly, I'm jealous.
Well, thank you. We'll probably have you back Kevin. On at some point.
No, you're doing great, Ryan, too. Everyone's doing great. I'm so proud of all of you. I raised all of you. That's the canon, right? I don't know. Anyways, so Danny, you came to us with a topic that you want to talk about, which is Arthur.
I want to say before we actually start, I came with this idea when I came on for my SpongeBob episode a year ago. I was like, whenever you guys need a filler topic, I have an Arthur subject that'd be fun to talk about.
We're turning this filler topic to a filler arc, just like anime. Yeah. So every episode from now on is gonna be about Arthur. No, not really. But
there's a market for an Arthur podcast, I feel like.
Hey man, considering its ending, I think a whole rewatch of Arthur is probably viable. I think you're right.
How many episodes are there?
Oh god.
How long would that take?
Arthur show Wikipedia. While I'm looking this up, Danny, what's your history with Arthur?
All right. So Arthur, when I was a kid, we didn't have cable. So Arthur was the only major show. We had PBS, and I know they had other shows, but Arthur, is like the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
I always described Arthur as like Seinfeld for kids, because it's literally about nothing. Mm-hmm. And I watched Arthur pretty much up until I would probably guess 3rd or 4th grade. And one of my favorite stories of Christmas being ruined is when my dog, the second year we had her, so I think I was like 8 at the time. Mm-hmm. No, I would have been 10. She chewed up our VHS copy of Arthur's Perfect Christmas.
Oh, no.
I know. Christmas was ruined. I was very mad at Lucy, but it's okay. But yeah, that's my... I haven't really watched Arthur since this time. I do plan on watching the finale, or finding a way to watch the finale. Oh, I did watch when it was in the news a couple years ago when Mr. Rapper got married. I found that episode and watched it. But besides that, I haven't watched Arthur since I was in elementary school. But when I was in elementary school, it was the big deal because I didn't have any other TV shows.
Yeah. Okay. So that's awesome. First of all, I want to say that you have such a rich history with Arthur, and rest in peace that VHS tape.
I know, I'll miss it.
To this day. So it looks like Arthur will end on 253 episodes with 25 seasons.
Now the question is, and I'm not gonna make you look this up, but how many segments does it end on? Because each other episode has 2 segments potentially.
Right. So the segments, I say currently, I think it said there was like 400. There's 485 segments so far. The list of episodes doesn't give it in segments.
So that would mean it would take you 9 years to do a weekly podcast on it.
Potentially, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that.
That's crazy. Well, I don't think that's including the specials either. I think the specials are counted separately, but there's 7 specials.
Oh my gosh!
Imagine being the actors
and there's one CGI movie that I haven't seen yet.
Well, they change the actors like every like 3 or 4 seasons at least. Because they like actually have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
that's gotta be relief.
I'm sorry, go back. There's a movie?
Yeah, there's a CGI movie, Arthur's Missing Pal.
You know, actually, you just reminded me of a part of my Arthur history that I should mention, which is that, and because it is relevant to the topic at hand, is that when I was a kid, I had a notebook where I'd write air quotes movie ideas, but they're really just like Arthur the movie, Buster the movie, Binky the movie. I do remember the plot of the Arthur movie was like they time travel.
So you created Arthur's cinematic universe in your notebook.
And in the first one, they time travel.
Don't let Kevin Feige see it. He'll take it.
I shouldn't let Russell Brand see. He'll want to play Arthur again.
Did Russell Brand ever play Arthur?
That's just a dumb joke. He played. There's that comedy movie from the '80s, Arthur, and then Russell Brand did a remake of it.
Yeah.
I cannot find this movie anywhere, Kevin. Where the hell
what?
are
Okay.
you saying?
Arthur's Missing Pal. I remember them advertising it.
I remember seeing it advertised too. Hold on. Okay, while I look this up, Ryan, what's your history with Arthur?
I read the books when I was little, which creeped me out because Arthur's original character design was terrifying, and I absolutely hated it at the time. But I pretty much read the books. I watched some of the show when it was on PBS. I'm not like I wasn't like a huge fan or anything, but I know of the show, and it also came on every day right before River Region Evening Edition. So we always had the joke that Arthur's where all the ratings spiked and then it dipped down when they went to River Region, which we found out later was actually true.
That makes sense though, like because Arthur's great.
Yeah, they peaked for a period and then at 5 o'clock just dipped down again. I was like, wow, all right, we're not Arthur.
No. Okay, so Danny beat me to the punch. So you can watch the full Arthur's Missing Pal movie on YouTube.
Definitely legally, right? Yeah, definitely legal.
There's a couple people I saw a couple people upload the full movie, so I'm like, all right, whatever.
Okay.
It's public broadcast, so technically I think it's okay.
I'm finally finding this movie. This looks terrifying. This looks terrible.
Have you guys ever seen the Arthur episode, the Arthur movie, where it's like you could send in a picture of yourself and Arthur would be your best friend?
No, I didn't. They do like fan submissions where like
I'm gonna send it to the chat now because you guys have to watch that later. It's called It's on YouTube. It's called Arthur's New Friend Andy, and it's like an episode where they go like, "You're my best friend." Andy.
I didn't know there was Arthur movies.
Yeah, I remember this.
I didn't know there was Arthur movies. I'm just finding out there's Arthur video games.
Oh yeah, dude, we should play
There's
that.
a whole history of Arthur.
Yeah, so
Arthur, good times.
So yeah, my history with Arthur is that I've watched like a handful of episodes in my elementary years, and then like when I was 12 years old, we like my parents got rid of cable, so we just had public broadcast. I also had younger siblings though, so like I would turn on PBS Kids for them, and then like but Arthur would come on and be like, okay, cool. Like I would watch like the PBS Kids Go block where it's like it's aimed for older kids.
Great block.
Yeah, the electric company, man.
Fetch with rough man.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, exactly. Fetch with rough man. But yeah, and Arthur was one of them. I think they played two episodes of Arthur back to back as well sometimes. But yeah, so like I got a lot of Arthur that way, and I read some of the books when I was a kid too. But I'm not like 100% theory. I'm 100% familiar with it, but I understand enough to like test Danny's theory. Which Danny, what is your Arthur theory?
All right, so I came up with this theory on an hour-long drive to a drive-in during the pandemic to see The Invisible Man, and I don't remember how Arthur came up. I think it was because it was around the time Mr. Ratburn was getting married, so Arthur was in the news.
Yeah.
So I was like, you can come up with give any 3 characters in Arthur and then like a subject matter, and you can come up with an episode on the spot. And I have brought with me 3 episodes that I've come up with on the spot. I promised you these were given to me, and I came up with the episode 10 seconds later. Okay.
Well, I'll have to take your word for it.
All right. These are just the ones I remember. And once I give you these 3, I will also give you the one that I was stumped on, which will give you the one rule of this, the one exception. Okay.
Gotcha.
So the first one I have here was given Francine, George, the brain, and the subject was baseball. Now, this is pretty simple. This one's a very easy one. So the plot is that George is, he's not a great baseball player, right? But he has to play on the team with Francine. And Francine's like the team captain, or, Francine loves her baseball.
Okay.
However, she actually, you know what? I think I might have been wrong here. I might have messed up, guys.
The
subject might have been
already.
robot.
The subject
might have been robots. No, because I know the plot. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think the plot I was given was robots. Because baseball, you can come up with so much different stuff for this.
Right.
I think the plot I was given was robots. Mm-hmm. And the reason that will make sense is because, George misses the ball when he needs to catch it, and that makes him lose the game, right? And Francine yells at him and says that he's useless. You know what I mean? Like that type
as
of
Francine
thing.
does.
As Arthur characters do.
Yes. So George is sad at school the next day until he discovers the brain has started a Lego robotics club.
Oh.
And George decides to do that instead because George is really good at building stuff. Mm-hmm. So then the next day, that day at their baseball practice, Francine's like, all right, let's get started. And everyone's like, well, we don't have anyone to do the outfield because you scared George away. So Francine has to go to the robotics club and convince the brain to give back George for baseball. And that would be the episode.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So the second one was Binky, Mr. Ratburn, and Third. This one's a little harder because these three characters don't really interact with each other, right?
Yeah.
Outside of like Mr. Ratburn being the teacher. And then the subject is marine biology.
Okay. Yeah, that's a tough one.
All right. So the episode begins with Binky getting in trouble, as Binky does, Binky is Mr. Ratburn's like, all right, you have an option. You have to do this extra homework assignment, or you can come with me and Fern to the Marine Biology Club's field trip this weekend and help us out.
Okay.
And Binky's like, I guess I'll do that. And the marine biology trip is really just like a fishing trip, because it's Arthur. We're not going to over-explain how marine biology works.
Missed opportunity.
Fern is the president of the Marine Biology Club.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very excited for this trip to show off how good she is at it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, Binky being Binky and not really trying becomes the best, fish person. He's not like a fish. It's not really fishing. It's like they're collecting specimen, right?
Right.
And they need to fish with that. And Binky totally outclasses Fern in the ability to do this completely. So Fern starts to get mad at Binky, but Binky's like, I don't even want to be here. And the episode will end with Mr. Ratburn falling in the lake and them having to save him together using Fern's actual knowledge of the lake and Binky's pure ability to get things out of the lake.
Yeah, physical strength. Yeah.
And they'd work together, and that'd be the episode.
That's awesome. That actually worked. That worked out way better than I was thinking. So, maybe I'm gonna fail the theory.
Yeah. So this last one, what were you gonna say? Sorry. I think I cut you off.
No, I think Ryan was just laughing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
sorry. Good. Laughing is okay. Anyway, so this last one was my brother trying to stump me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I will read this all, but I will say before I do it is that I was really stumped until he gave me the topic. Because the topic made it very easy for me.
Yeah.
The characters were Baby Kate, Muffy's dad, and Mr. Ratburn's husband, who discovered his name is Patrick. So Patrick Ratburn. And the topic is adoption. Now, I was pretty stumped until it was adoption.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my mind, this episode is about Mr. Ratburn's husband, who I know I said his name is Patrick, but I'm just going to call him Mr. Ratburn's husband.
Right.
Mr. Ratburn's husband is like, I really want to have a child with you, Nigel. And Mr. Ratburn's like, I don't know if you'd be able to take care of a kid. So then Arthur overhears this and goes, why don't you just babysit my baby sister for a weekend, Mr. Ratburn's husband? And then you can show off to Mr. Ratburn how good you are at that. So Mr. Ratburn's husband gets baby Kate. Now I know you're wondering how Muffy's dad comes into this. So
can I guess before you say?
Yes, go ahead.
Does Muffy's dad think the Ratburns kidnap baby Kate or something?
No, I wish, but no, because one of the key, I'll tell you what the two key tenements of the Arthur theory are after this one, and the reason, and it will say why that one would never be an option. No offense.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. So Go
So-
I
on.
assume it can't be super dark.
Yeah, that's one of them. But Muffy's dad,
I feel like
so
that's not too
Mr.
dark. But,
Mr. Rapper's husband and baby Kate has been having like a decent time.
mhm.
But then Muffy's dad keeps ringing the doorbell because he's like, "Hello, I'm Muffy's dad from Crosswire Motors. I'm here to sell you on a new car and like car insurance and stuff like that."
Mhm.
And Mr. Rapper's husband's like, I'm really sorry, I can't do this right now." But whenever he does this, and Mr. Rapper's Muffy's dad shows up, baby Kate like disappears, right?
Oh.
And they have to, like, Mr. Rapper's husband has to look for baby Kate when he can't find her. And Muffy's dad's like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry I did that and I distracted you." But he also just still wants to try to sell him a car. And it is more of a comedic episode than anything. But at the end, Mr. Rapper comes home and Mr. Rapper's husband has lost baby Kate again. And Mr. Rapper's like, "I told you this could never work." And then Muffy's dad's like, "I'm really sorry. I actually distracted your husband. He was doing great with baby Kate and I ruined this."
Mhm.
And they end up deciding to adopt a baby. Not baby Kate because it belongs to Arthur's mom.
Wait, but where did baby Kate disappear to the final time?
I didn't get that far. You can come up with that one.
Baby
No
Kate stole
specifics,
Muffy's
just
dad's
general.
car.
Look, it's I'm not writing the whole episode.
Yeah.
I'm pitching an episode.
Yeah, I got
The
you.
writers of the episode in the writers' room can figure out what baby Kate is. So the two
Gotcha.
rules of this are, and I think you actually might remember this. I might have mentioned this on this episode I was on a year ago about
Right.
SpongeBob. Is unlike SpongeBob is hard to do this with because SpongeBob doesn't need to have a point.
Right.
Like, but with Arthur, every episode has to have a moral, which means you have to come up with a plot that leads to a lesson.
Right.
The other big rule is you have to keep it on you have to keep it to PBS standards.
Yeah.
Because the one time I was actually stumped was when someone gave me 3 characters and said it was like the first time you have a period. And I was like, I can't come up with an episode for that because that
Right.
would never be on PBS.
Right. No, yeah, that's stuff for
Yeah.
like other shows, like, you know, like Seinfeld and whatnot. So
Yeah, sure. Seinfeld could do an episode about that if they want to. I don't care.
if they wanted to.
But like,
The best you could do with the period episodes is maybe like having a metaphor for it.
yeah, exactly. Like, but I was told no, it had to actually be about it. And I was like, no, I'm not coming up with an Arthur episode about that.
Right.
You can't
It's
make
like, no, you just do it like, I'm doing an episode about a period, as in the dot that goes after sentences.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Like, have
Yeah,
that.
you speak one sentence a month.
It's like we're arguing over whether a period or exclamation point should go at the end of this sentence, and that's just the entire episode.
Yeah, there you go, Danny. That's your loophole that you could have done.
All right.
Anyway,
Well, if you want to get me the period when we are back from the break, feel free to.
is there anything you want to add before we take a break?
No, I think that's pretty much the theory. It's a fairly simple theory, and it's one of the reasons Arthur's like so malleable as a TV show. You know,
Right? Because one thing of like why this theory works, I think, is because each character is an archetype. There's not like a fully defined characters, so like you can have them. They have their flaws, strengths, and weaknesses, but like they're so flexible with those strengths and weaknesses that you can kind of make them do anything, so to speak.
yes, agreed, 100%.
Yeah.
Other than like Mr. Rapper's husband, I don't think is an archetype, but we'll see.
But he's also
Anyway,
fairly new to the show, so
It's true. He's the only new
Yeah.
character I know.
on that note, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna put Danny's theory to the test. See you in a bit. Starting a podcast? Try a Podbean Unlimited hosting plan. It's what we use here at Committed Critics, giving us the opportunity to have our show on Pandora, iHeartRadio, and even Spotify. You can get your first month of unlimited hosting for free on us by going to podbean.com/committedcrits, just like our Twitter, or by clicking the link in the description. Podbean, the easiest, most affordable option to get started in podcasting.
Don't you wish there was a pop culture review site that appealed to cinephiles, both professional and casual? Well, look no further than crpwrites.com. New content such as movie and TV reviews, film essays, and more are released every week by writers who crave for movies like every moviegoer craves for popcorn. CRP Writes is dedicated to making sure no one is wasting time or money where they shouldn't be. After all, you have to be able to buy your popcorn and eat it too. CRPWrites.com. Casual reviews with purpose since 2018.
Welcome back to Committed Critics as we continue to talk about Arthur, specifically Danny's Arthur theory, where he can make an episode pitch out of 3 characters and a topic as long as it's PBS friendly. So to put it to the test, Danny, here are my 3 characters and my 1 topic. 3 characters are Arthur. Let me spell it right in the document.
It's not hard to spell.
Arthur with a Y. Buster, Muffy, and then the topic is, I'm sure this is PBS friendly, shoplifting.
Oh, okay. All right. So, there's a lot of different directions I can go in here. Hold on.
I know. I feel like I gave you an easy one.
Yeah, it is pretty easy, honestly. Usually, my rule I give people when they're really testing me sometimes is I don't let them give me Arthur or Buster because they're pretty easy. But
yeah.
You gave it to me, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Hold on.
I just want to see what you come up with.
Okay. The issue is there's so many options here of who to make my main character.
Exactly.
Do you want? I think
I can change one of the characters if you want, unless this is your way of saying, like,
oh,
it's too hard.
Up to you. No, it's up to you if you'd like to change one or not. You have completely up to you. I can come up with something with these guys.
Does Bionic Bunny count?
You can change one of the Bionic Bunny, but I think that actually makes it easier.
That is true. Yeah, for this topic.
Yeah. So I'll just do Arthur, Buster tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bustard.
Arthur, Mustard, anyway. Buffy.
So our plot is that Arthur and Buster, you know what, I'm gonna use Bionic Bunny anyway, are eyeballing this really cool life-size statue of Bionic Bunny. However, none of them can really afford it. And unfortunately, I've written myself into a corner already by me saying life-size, which makes this episode harder to write. But you know what? I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah, roll with it, man. Improv. Yes, and.
So Arthur and Buster see this really cool Bionic Bunny life-size thing. They're like, how can we afford this? So first, of course, the episode begins with them trying to save up money for it. Like, you know, they're not going to just steal it, you know? But then someone points out that Buster looks to be about the same size as a life-size Bionic Bunny thing.
Really?
Which gets Buster interested. Doesn't get Arthur interested, because Arthur's our moral compass here. So Arthur goes like, let's just keep trying to save up our money for this. And then Buster's like, it's gonna take us like 7 months to be able to afford the smaller one. So what Buster does is goes to his good friend Muffy, who we all know is the richest person in town. And Muffy's like, I'm not gonna give you money to buy a stupid statue. But then he's like, hold on a second, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, do you know that TV show you really like, Real Housewives of Elwood City or whatever it is? Because that's the type of show Muffy would watch, you know, like reality television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna try to, you know how they sometimes like shoplift on that show? And Muffy's like, yeah. And she's like, do you want to try it? And she's like, well, you know, I don't really think that's a good idea, but I'm rich, so I don't usually have the option to do this and shoplift. So sure, I'll help you out. And so they do this elaborate plot where they dress up Buster as Bionic Bunny to replace the statue at a certain point. And convince Muffy's dad, who, you know, has so many cars. Actually, you know what? No. We're going to rope in Francine's sister.
Okay.
Because Francine's sister is old enough to drive. And she will be the one to be the getaway driver as they steal this Bionic. So it's a heist episode. So they steal the Bionic Bunny toy with Buster as the stand-in at one point. But unfortunately, the plan doesn't work out because they forget that if Buster's a stand-in, he's going to have to stay there all night. So the next morning, Buster wakes up in the store with people around him like, where's the statue? Why is there just a Bionic Bunny statue here? Costume here. And the episode ends with the money stealing was wrong. Now, is this a good episode? Probably not in the terms of moral standpoint, like it teaches a pretty obvious lesson. But would it work as an episode of Arthur? Yes.
Yeah, I think so. One thought I would like. One direction I thought you could take it to was like maybe Buster steals a bunch of small toys and tries to sell them in the schoolyard to build
that would
get money
make
faster.
more sense than mine. Because the issue also of mine is that I would say if I'm to self-critique is I didn't implement Arthur in the story enough.
Right.
I kind of cheated. So the real way to end it would be maybe something where like Arthur goes over to Buster's house the night of the crime and sees he isn't there, and then tries to stop the shoplifting from happening. And that's probably the actual episode. The shoplifting probably never actually occurs.
They put the like Muffy puts the bionic bunny statue on Buster's bed and puts a blanket over to make it like Buster's asleep.
yeah, that's the thing. I need to implement Arthur more into the story.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think I did an okay job.
No, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Ryan, what would you rate it?
I give that a good 7, 8 out of 10. That's a pretty funny episode. I would enjoy the hijinks in that.
Thank you.
All right, Ryan.
All right.
You ready for your
All
pitch?
How hard do you want this to be, Danny? Is the real question.
I like it being hard. If it takes me about 15 seconds to get started, that's
Quick,
okay.
Zach.
I think the last one took me about a minute to get started.
Zach, take it out of context when Danny says I like it when it's hard.
All right, so I'm gonna
It's PBS.
I'm gonna switch it up because Kevin didn't use Buster, and that was one of my favorite characters. So I'm gonna change it to Binky instead.
Okay.
So we have
Take
It's
Binky.
also shoplifting.
We got Arthur's grandma,
Okay.
and then I don't know if you remember this. I remember this episode like faintly, but there was like the anti-DW that was WD or something.
Okay, I saw that on the Arthur wiki, but I do not remember that episode. I'm older than you guys, so
Then I'll change the last character to, let's go with Mr. Ratburn's sister.
Okay, the one you guys all watched that episode, right? Where they got married?
No, I didn't watch it.
No, I did not see it.
The twist of the episode is that they think he's getting married to a woman, and it ends up that it's Mr. Ratburn's sister who's the woman they were confused about.
Oh my god.
Oh jeez.
Anyway.
So what's your topic?
The topic is, all right, so yeah, I'll give you two topics. You can choose which one you want to do, either addiction or bullying.
Bullying's a little too...
It's too easy.
I gotta do addiction because bullying's a little too easy with Binky there.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like it literally writes itself.
So,
All right.
do you mind if I do a little quick research on Mr. Ratburn's sister just to remind myself what she looks like?
For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is about drug addiction, right, Ryan?
No. God.
Wait, which
I think
sister? Are we talking about Patty Ratburn, which is the one who they thought was marrying Mr. Ratburn? Or are we talking about Radinsha Ratburn, who was the substitute teacher Ratburn?
I think it was a substitute teacher one is the one I remember.
Honestly, the substitute teacher one I can work with better too.
Okay.
Because everyone is literally just Jane Lynch, but as Mr. Ratburn. Okay. I gotta figure out what they're gonna get addicted to, because it has to be PBS appropriate, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's like trading cards.
I can't
or
do an
something.
episode on the opioid crisis.
You can do like trading cards.
Yeah, but how would these two get involved with that? Because you gave me two adults, so it does need to be somewhat of an adult.
Baseball
addiction.
cards.
I don't think I push back on the idea that these two characters could
Gambling.
That's not true to the characters, Kevin.
Soap operas.
Ooh.
Soap opera addiction.
Yeah, because Binky could be a closeted soap opera addict.
You know, I'm gonna go with lottery tickets.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with lottery
Scratch
tickets as
tickets.
the addiction. Yeah, because I think that would make more sense for these characters.
Mhm.
All right. And then I got to figure out how to get them involved. See, you did give me some tough ones because you gave me three characters that never really interact. But the more important, the tougher one is that the one that you gave me that didn't interact. Like the two main ones are Grandma Thora and Binky, and then there's a side character.
Mhm.
And Grandma Thora and Binky never interact. So
I
these
know.
are tough. So I'm okay. Okay, so Binky is of course our main character of this episode because the main character of our episodes are always the kids.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. And Binky I think it could be fairly said that Binky is the oldest looking kid in his grade.
Yeah.
Would you guys agree?
Wasn't he
Yeah.
technically like held back? So like he's actually a year older than everyone else in the grade.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm unsure, but that sounds about correct. So Binky is going to Sugar Bowl, and it's a good time at the
Mhm.
Sugar Bowl. And he runs into Grandma Thora there. This is where we get our connection.
Okay.
Now, Grandma Thora needs some help carrying some groceries. Actually, no, she needs some help carrying an ice cream cake home. Because she's a grandma and she needs that help. And this is how we get our Binky and Grandma Thora connection.
Gotcha.
Okay. On the way back, though, Grandma Thora's like, "Can we stop at I'll just say the drugstore, even though obviously it's
Convenience
it's a convenience store.
Yeah.
They're not
Right.
getting drugs in our addiction episode." So while they're there, Grandma Thora's like, "I'll have one scratch ticket, please." But you know who else is there at the same time?
Mr. Rapper and Sister.
Mr. Rapper's sister's there. And guess how many she's buying?
2.
25.
Oh my god.
Oh, my.
And Grandma Thor sees this, gets a little concerned, asking her, "Are you sure you can afford all that?" And Mr. Rapper's sister's like, "Oh, well, I just really like my games. Because it's hard to, like, I used to have a life on the Las Vegas Strip." She doesn't say Las Vegas Strip. She says whatever the Arthur equivalent of Las Vegas is. She's like, "I used to really enjoy going out to casinos, but as I've gotten older and become a teacher like my brother, I don't really have time for that. So this just gives me a little of that scratch of life that makes it exciting."
Scratch of
And
life.
as they leave, Mr. Rapper and Sister gives Binky one of her scratch cards and goes, "Here, you have some fun too." And Binky wins. Binky wins about $15 on a scratch card.
Nice.
And he goes, "Wow, this was $15 and it only cost her $1? That's great." He goes, "Wait a second. So if I put these $15 in and I get back more money, it will work out." And he convinces Grandma Thora to do this. How he convinces her to do it, I gotta figure out right now, because I just had Grandma Thora be offended by Mr. Rapper and Sister getting so much money.
Yeah, I feel like you missed an idea where it's like maybe like Grandma Thora doesn't have any money for Binky, but like she gives him like a lot of scratch tickets like a payment.
Well, I need to get
Yeah.
Mr. Rapper and Sister in there, and I think her
Yeah.
being the gateway is the way to do it.
Maybe, yeah.
Because
The gateway.
unlike Grandma Thora, because Grandma Thora is a character, Mr. Rapper and Sister is a guest star who popped up in 2 episodes. So Grandma Thora is initially very apprehensive of it until Binky gives her a sob story about how Binky has a pet, right? I think Binky has a pet.
I think so.
We're gonna Google that very quickly.
Or-
Does Binky
or maybe,
from
like,
Arthur?
Or maybe Grandma
have
Thora is
a-
like, "Hey, you shouldn't do this," but then Binky like tries to find someone else who like Francine's older sister like has like a fake ID or something.
What's with y'all
Well-
and Francine's older sister?
Yeah, we're just making her a convict.
Right, I'm like, at this rate, she's gonna end up in jail.
Oh, okay. You know what? Okay, never mind. I know. Okay, sorry. I think this one's getting tough, but I got it. Okay.
Okay.
So Grandma Thora, Binky does this and goes in and does it. Okay.
Yeah.
Grandma Thora's not involved again yet. Big yet.
Okay.
However, he loses on X of his 15.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks, I just saw that woman buy 2 of these. And she also just got, what's her face? Sorry, I don't know. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. She also just bought this ice cream cake that I know costs at least $20. So she clearly has the money to make me back my $15 and more if I win more on the lotto. So what he does is he tells his friends, who I think are named Molly. You know how he has those bully friends he has?
Yeah.
Who are way worse than he?
Yeah.
He goes talk to them about this idea. He's like, "How about I distract Grandma Thora and you guys go and buy lottery tickets with money that I get from her after I rake her leaves, and then we can, so it starts as like a morally okay. He's going to earn the money by raking Grandma Thora's leaves.
Right.
So he earns that money. But while he's earning it, she also goes, "Oh, do you mind if you go walk with me to Arthur's house? Like last time I walked, I tripped and it really hurt." Poor Grandma Thora.
Okay.
So Binky's like, "Yeah, sure. I can do that tomorrow." And because she's asking for tomorrow. so then at night, Binky goes to his friend. He's like, all right, I have these $10 from raking your leaves, but tomorrow I'm walking her from her house and I know she has $100 bills. Like in her house. Cause I saw it when she was paying me for the raking the leaves. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend $100 on these lotto tickets, knowing that last time, cause Binky's actually smart. You know that, right? Like, so we're going to, knowing that I won at least once when Mrs. Ratburn's sister bought 15, that would mean that if we buy 100 lottery tickets, we're guaranteed to win at least 6 $15 or $10 tickets, which would get us back up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he's going to make a profit. No, because this is all he knows about the lottery, is he assumes this is how it's going to work. I feel bad because I don't really see how this is about addiction.
Well, I mean,
this is about gambling. I made an episode about gambling instead.
It's the start of a gambling addiction? Question mark?
Yeah.
Well, let me see if I can loop it around.
Oh, maybe Danny's theory isn't as strong as he thought.
Hold on. I'm gonna loop it back to addiction. I just figured out how to do it, and you guys are gonna be mad at all the fact of about addiction. So, as Grandma Thora, the next day, Binky walks Grandma Thora to Arthur's house while the big scheme is going on. However, when he's at Arthur's house, he sees Arthur's mom take her to the side, and he overhears a sad story where it's like, how much money do you have left? And she goes, oh, just about $100. And they're like, that's not enough for you to be living in that big house by yourself. How does this keep happening? She's like, oh, when I got sick a few weeks back when I broke my arm, I got this medicine. Yep, it's an Arthur episode about the opioid addiction. I lied to you guys. We're doing a very special episode of Arthur. No. Grandma Thora got addicted to opioids.
It's not PBS Kids Go anymore. It's a regular PBS.
Arthur's done episodes about serious topics, and I feel like if they haven't done an episode on the opioid addiction, they would now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, right. At least Arthur was when I was a kid. They've done episodes on so many other hot topic things. So Grandma Thora is addicted, but moreover, Binky has realized that by stealing his money for the lottery tickets, he is taking Grandma Thora's last bit of money for her entire house. So he quickly excuses himself and runs to the convenience store where he sees police cars around there.
Oh my God.
And being let out are his friends who, might you be reminded, are only in 4th grade. So they're definitely way too young to be buying lottery tickets. And whereas earlier they bought 2 and no one cared, they come up $100 bill to buy 100 lottery tickets. That's when the clerk calls on them. So
sounds about right.
Now I'm sure you're wondering, Danny, this episode was very about addiction, but moreover, where's Mr. Ratburn's sister in all this? She's just the gateway to the addiction that ended up not being addiction. The episode's about the opioid crisis. Well, I'll tell you how Grandma Thora comes in. Binky gets arrested as an accomplice. Dun dun dun.
Oh no!
And he goes to
juvie.
He goes to
Arthur Juvie.
Yeah, Arthur Juvie or the questioning center. But do you know who works there?
Mr. Ratburn's sister?
Social worker? Yes, it's Mr. Ratburn's sister.
Oh my.
And she goes, oh no, I should never have given you that lottery ticket. This is all because of me. And then then she bails him out. And as she's walking him out, Arthur looks at some other people there and Binky looks at some other people in there and in the holding cells of the juvie and sees that they look very sick. And Binky asks what's wrong with them. This is where we get our learning portion about the opioid crisis.
Oh my God. Oh boy. What? This is a very complicated web you're weaving.
This is a 2-parter. This is gonna be a 2-parter episode.
This is like
this is what happens when you give me very hard characters.
You're welcome.
And yeah, you should be happy. I gave you a 2-part episode about the opioid crisis.
Yeah, we're double dipping in that Arthur money.
And to be honest, the opioid crisis episode would be a 2-parter because it is an important, very special episode. And you're also learning about the dangers of lottery tickets too. So Binky goes back and he tells Mr. Ratburn's sister, he's like, can I have $100 because I stole from Grandma Thora? That's all she had. And Mr. Epper's sister's like, "You're kidding, right?" And he goes, "Well, you know those people we saw that were sick at the police station? I think Grandma Thora might have an issue like that too." And so Grandma Thora, thanks to Binky talking to a trusted adult who put him on this lottery ticket plot in the first place, Miss Grandma Thora gets the help she needs. Binky never passed another lottery ticket again because it's been one of the most traumatizing experiences of his life. And Mr. Epper's sister also quits lottery tickets because she realized that being a social worker who also is addicted to buying lottery tickets isn't really good.
Man,
that's my episode. It was a little rough.
It really
came probably my roughest episode yet.
It really came together at the end. Yeah. I think you did a really great job of like making these archetype characters into like 3-dimensional characters.
Well, I kind of cheat. Well, I didn't cheat because Mr.
I don't think you
Epper's
cheated on this
shown
one.
up for years.
You technically made it
I
about
her
addiction
worker.
still, and so you roll it all back.
All right, I'm not as proud as that one as I should be. What would I get on it, Ryan?
You did good with the craziness I gave you.
Thank you.
Like I said, it all came together at the end to like something meaningful. So
yeah,
like
I also just recorded a podcast where I pitched an episode about the opioid crisis for Arthur for 10 minutes.
Oh man, this one's going down in the books, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Danny, what is your pitch to us? And Ryan and I will work together.
All right. So I had Binky as one of mine, so I'll swap them out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you Prunella. Do you guys remember who that is?
I know what she looks like. She's like the bookworm.
I can give you someone else if you don't want her.
I mean, I'll take it. I'll work with it.
All right, I'm gonna give you Mrs. McGrady.
I don't know who that is.
That's the lunch lady. That's the lunch lady.
Okay, lunch lady. Okay, cool. Lunch lady stereotype. I got it.
My next randomized one says Nadine, but I'm not gonna give you Nadine because that's pretty hard.
Yeah,
because that's DW's imaginary friend, and I don't know.
Oh
how
yeah,
you can write her into an episode without DW. So I'm gonna give you Pal, the dog.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give you the topic will be religion or church.
Okay, cool. All right, so can you write that down in the document too?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I said
Prunella.
Kevin.
Mrs. McGrady, the lunch lady.
Mrs. McGrady, the lunch lady.
Which,
and then,
I wonder if that's
Pal.
intentional that her name rhymes with that.
Maybe.
Pal, and the topic's going to be church/religion.
Okay, Ryan.
My only question is, I have a question. What
Yes.
animal is Mrs. McGrady? Do you remember?
I can Google very quickly. I don't remember what she has cancer. That's the thing that happened to her in the very special episodes.
Okay. Gotcha.
I will say this, Kevin.
Yeah.
If we want
She is a bear.
She's a bear. Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, Brian?
Prunella is a poodle. Since we're talking about religion, we have a question: do all dogs go to heaven?
Oh my God.
In this dog.
Okay. Well, okay.
You guys just
now, okay, hold on. Let's pose this a question though. So Prunella is a dog. Pal is also a dog.
It's the goofy Pluto question.
Exactly.
So yeah, so like, what if Prunella came across like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like, my initial idea is like Prunella comes across a dog who is dying, and then's like, she takes it to the vet, but like the vet emergency, like they can't save it, the dog's dead. But I don't know if that's PBS friendly. Is that?
I think they've had animals die on it.
Okay.
I think there's been pet deaths on Arctic.
Okay, gotcha. So Prunella tries to save a dying dog she found, but like it doesn't work out. But then like Prunella's like, starts wondering like, where do dogs go after they die, or where do all the pets go after they die? You vibing with this idea, Ryan? You want to try something else?
No, you can keep going. I want to hear where this one goes.
Okay. So speaking of dogs.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So then so one day, so when she goes to school, she goes to lunch, and then Mrs. McGrady, the lunch lady, knows that she's kind of like different than usual. She's like, "Hey, like Prunella, are you okay? Like, what's going on?" She's like, Say, oh no, it's fine. I just like, and then like, and then she starts talking about like I tried to save. There was a dog I found in an alley yesterday, and I tried to save it, but like the vet couldn't save it. I just feel really bad about it. And then like, Mrs. McGrady having cancer is like, yeah, man, it sucks. Some things are inevitable.
Mortality is terrible, right? Sorry, go on.
But basically, McGrady, the lunch lady, doesn't have anything positive to offer at this moment early in the episode. And then like, then are Prunella and Arthur friends? Like, are they like, do they sit at the table
I would
together?
say so.
Okay. So yeah, then like, Prunella like sits with Arthur and friends. And Arthur's talking about like, how he wants to get Pal into a dog training competition that's coming into town. And then like, Prunella is like kind of sad at the mention of a dog, but she's like, but then she also thinks like, hey, maybe this is like, if I help another dog, then maybe that will like help like balance out like, not being able to save one dog. And then like, and then starts getting her to think like, like what is like this, is that like how karma works? Like, is karma a real thing? Like, can I balance out my own karma? Which,
This is a very existential episode.
well, it's got to be about religion. So it's got to have some sort of religion. It's true. Yeah. So she offers to Arthur, like, hey, like if you need help training Pal, like I'd be more than happy to help. Like I don't have a lot of experience with dogs, but being a dog myself, I think I can help. Do they actually reference like their animals? Yeah, Buster Bunny.
They never reference their animals. Wait,
no. They say Arthur's an aardvark. In Buster Bunny.
Yeah, okay. That's true.
Yeah. And then Arthur's like, yeah, like, maybe introduce racism as well. Like, yeah, maybe the dogs can help other dogs.
Jeez. You're going back on par with what I had an idea on.
Ryan, did you want to add anything so far?
Huh?
Did you want to add anything so far to this idea?
Oh no, my idea. I was going on. You went back on the path I was thinking was just like, just Prunella having an existential crisis, looking at Pal.
Right.
Just like, we're both dogs. Why can I talk and he can't?
Just get like, just like really long like shots, like slowly zoom in on like Pal staring at Prunella and Prunella staring at Pal.
Just to feel that like, Mrs. McGrady was a nun in the past life, like
I was
the lunch lady.
Well, I was gonna have it like just her having nightmares that Pal is like, why can you talk and I can't?
And there are those episodes where Pal talks.
Yeah, I was gonna say like we can loop back to that. Like so after school, like Prunella goes to Arthur's house to like help train Pal, but Pal, being a puppy, doesn't listen. And so like it was like, oh, we have to like, and Arthur's like still trying to like do like the same thing over and over again, but Pal's not listening. And Prunella's like, well, like, hey, maybe we can like find a book at the library about this, about how to train a dog. Meanwhile, Pal has a whole subplot of like, he would steal like food from the kitchen and bring it out to the backyard, and the ants start worshiping Pal like a god.
What?
I think you're starting into the not a PBS episode territory.
No. What? No, you can have like a little segment there, like the ants are like start worshiping Pal or something. I think that's.
I'm starting to feel bad because I shouldn't have had this. I honestly, now I'm looking at this, I'm like, I should have given you another kid instead of Pal.
Right?
No, I'm enjoying this.
No. I'm working.
Okay, good. I feel like I put you guys in a corner.
No. It's fine.
Okay, good.
I don't feel like I'm in a corner yet. Not yet.
I just want to point out though. Can I just say one thing? Is that we have done 6 versions of this on the show, including my archived ones, and now once we mentioned the second biggest character on Arthur DW.
Well, because I feel like DW is like too easy. I think. Because like
that's true.
Because she flips back and forth between the moral compass and being the problem. So she's like, you can do anything with DW.
Correct. Yeah. You're right. I just was like, haha, that's amusing. Anyway, go on.
So the next day, Prunella and Arthur go to the library and look up a book, How to Train Dogs. And Mrs. McGrady, the lunch lady, is at the library too, like learning about how to make healthy recipes, healthy meals. And then like they come across each other, and Mrs. McGrady is like, "Oh hey Prunella, hey Arthur, like Prunella, like you're looking a little better today. I hope everything's going well." And she's like, Prunella's like, "Yeah, I know, I'm helping Arthur train his dog, and I think it's helping me feel a little better." Mrs. McGrady says like, "Oh, that's great. Like, yeah, like, I know like the whole thing with that other dog was like pretty sad, but like, the best you can do is keep moving forward and like help the world the best you can." And Prunella's like, "Yeah, that's what I was thinking." So then they go back to Arthur's place, and then like they start training Pal more, and they finally teach Pal how to sit, but like he still doesn't like roll over or anything, but it's like still a success. Like, yes, we got him to sit.
What if you traumatize Prunella and you have him teach how to play dead?
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. that's a great idea. Thank you. Arthur's like, "Okay, let's teach another trick. Pal, play dead," and Prunella's Prunella has like PTSD. He's like, "No, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable about this, Arthur." It's like, "No, it's like it's one of the cool dog tricks." And then it's like, and then but like Pal doesn't listen, so it's just like, "Okay, well we'll try again tomorrow." So then Prunella goes home and like feels better about like helping Arthur and Pal like get trained for the competition. Meanwhile, Arthur overnight is like going through this training book and like really teaches like Pal how to play dead. So
oh god.
What?
So so the next day, Prunella, this episode's getting pretty long. So
I was gonna say you gotta get to wrapping it up soon.
I know.
It's 11 minutes, so this is a two-parter like mine is.
Oh boy. Prunella goes to Arthur's. We're more than halfway done. From what I'm thinking so far. So Prunella goes to Arthur's place. Arthur's like, "Okay, like, hey, let's show the new trick that like, let's show Prunella the new trick that we did, Pal." It's like, "Pal," it does like finger guns, play dead. And then Pal like rolls over and like sticks his tongue out and closes his eyes. Meanwhile, the ants are like, "Our god is dead." We're gonna starve. And like the ant civilization goes into panic. But Prunella's like, it's like Prunella's like gets mad at Arthur. It's like, "Hey, like I said, like this isn't a cool trick. Like this is actually kind of mean." And Arthur's like, "What are you talking about? Like it's a normal trick that dogs do." And Prunella's like, "No, like this is really mean. I don't like this." And then like she storms off, and Arthur's like, "Oh, like maybe like some people actually do get offended by things, and like I need to respect other people's opinions and like boundaries." And Prunella.
So this episode was about never mind. Go on.
Hold on.
Go on.
That's just Arthur. That's Arthur's story.
Okay.
We're still on Prunella, who's still like,
You're right.
it's like I wanted to help Arthur, but it's not working out. Like, am I doing something wrong? Is there something that I did before that I couldn't do that's coming back at me that like I can't help with Arthur? That's keeping me from helping Arthur the way he needs to be helped. And then as she's walking home, she like Mrs. McGrady is also like walking her dog. Does she have a dog?
You can give her one. Like I don't think she usually see her home life. You know?
Gotcha. So she sees the lunch lady outside of the school and library, and she's like, "Oh, hey Prunella, how's it going?" Like, and then like
keep running into each other a lot, considering how we never talk to each other outside of this episode.
This is the third time. Three is the magic number here, man. That's what I'm working with.
It's true.
True.
So then Prunella just kind of like vents a bit, like, "Oh, Arthur doesn't want to listen to me. I'm trying to help him, da da da." And Mrs. McGrady is like, look, like, you know, does Mrs. McGrady actually tell the kids that she has cancer?
It might be in remission, but like she has had cancer.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah. But the kids are aware. The kids are aware. That was like what the episode was about. It was like how children deal with knowing someone they know has cancer.
Gotcha.
Like it was a very special episode.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah. So they're aware she's had it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like how to continue this scene. now I feel like I'm putting myself in the little corner, but like, because I want to make sure like this is done right. I don't want to like offend anyone with this, but
But
That's
okay,
why I was
everyone's upset about the opioid crisis.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, but no, like Mrs. McGrady is just like, you know, it's like, Prunella, you did a fantastic job, but you need to understand that like there are boundaries that other people have, and you need and like it's about respecting those boundaries. Like doing good, part of doing good is understanding that where you need to step back. It's like, this is still technically like religious, right? Like, is that still a religious statement?
I guess, you know, I didn't specify which religion.
Right,
you know?
exactly. Well, we have the subplot with the ants just in case.
The bizarre ant subplot. I imagine the ant subplot is something where, like, at the beginning of the episode, you know how Arthur always talks to the screen before, like, the episode actually begins. I imagine that's when that's established, and it's barely acknowledged in the episode.
Exactly.
proper.
Yeah, that was my thinking for it. It's like yeah, Bruno's like, you know, you want to live a good life, and like so hopefully and like you want to live a good life so that way, like, you know, you hope that everything beyond your life is good too, and like part of being good is understanding other people's boundaries and respecting them, and understanding that there's only so much that you can do, but you should still do as much as you can. But like once like I'm kind of like trying to this is the problem with like doing it on the spot where you like kind of like talk in circles a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to close it up, you know?
Yeah. You gotta wrap it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Prunella understands that, like, okay, like I understood, like I didn't do anything wrong with trying to save that dog. I did the best I could, but there was
This was a really happy episode of Arthur.
I did the best I could to save that dog, but ultimately there was nothing she could do. So in the same sense, like, what she's trying to help Arthur best she can, but it gets to a point where like Pal is Arthur's dog, not her dog. So like she can only do so much before she hits the ceiling there.
You were like the great American novel as an Arthur episode.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna say my story was just Prunella having an existential crisis about this being a dog, about
finding
being a dog,
religion.
the Pal being a dog. Huh?
We're worshiping Pal.
Well, the religion part was gonna come into like, why did God make me be able to talk but not Pal?
You know, I actually thought, yeah. Because the thing was, I realized like 5 minutes after I gave this to you, that if I'd given you, we could have had a very dark existential episode if I'd let you, given you Marina and Prunella, and have it be like, why was Marina born blind and I wasn't?
Oh,
Marina's her blind friend.
Yeah.
That would have been a very like religious, like, what is God type of thing, you know?
Look, but that would have been an easy one. You gave me a hard one. I think I made it work.
Yeah, I gave you a hard one for a reason. Yeah,
I think I made it work. What do you think, Danny?
I think it works, but as I said, it sounds like a bit more like the Great American Children's Novel about learning about acceptance and stuff than an Arthur episode. Like this, it sounds like, I mean, mine I said was a 2-part episode. Yours sounds like something where it's dealing with such heavy themes it could be like a movie, like that type of thing, you know?
Well, I'll take pride in that.
Yeah, mine was just a goof. Mine was a goof on the opioid crisis. So yours was like a serious examination of religion. Yours is like Martin Scorsese's Arthur.
Oh,
episode.
good. I'll take pride in that. I'll take that as a compliment. Oh my god.
Oh god.
You made silence as Arthur. All right.
The whole episode is animated like South Park, like they did in that one episode. Ryan, what did you think of it?
It was good. I enjoyed that. That was chaos incarnate.
I gotta say, I also just enjoyed Kevin. You just got like, how does this like trying to figure it out
on the spot? Yeah. But this has been Committed Critics, an extra long episode of Committed Critics. So thank you.
Yeah.
I hope it was entertaining for you as it was for me. If you want to hear the rest of our thoughts about other topics or more on author, just head on over to our Patreon episode linked in the description. You can follow us on Twitter at Committed Crits, YouTube out on Committed Critics, spelled the same there it is here everywhere else, and also on TikTok at Committed Critics. We are so special thanks to our current patrons: David Pepper from Game Mechanics, Ryan Kowalkowski from Ryan Plays Drums, Andy Phillips from Andy Phillips, Jody Wright, and Devin Vonderhyde. And last but not least, Danny, do you want to plug yourself again?
Yes. Well, before I plug myself, I do want to say we'll miss you, Arthur. We loved you for 25 years or however long you've lasted.
25. Yeah, I think about 25 years.
It's 25.
Yeah. Well, we love you, Arthur. Anyway, yes, you can follow me on my Evertwo podcast, which you can find on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a variety of other places. Why is with Ty and Dan? That's the MCU one. I believe Zach will be actually guest starring soon on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming on to talk about Doctor Strange. But then also the Stump Club, where we talk about old movies. So check out both of those. We're on everywhere you can find us. And yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Cool. On that note, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.